Wednesday. Thank you so much for tuning in and for choosing to spend some of your time with me. I'm Maria Milagros. You're an incredible human. And this is Wisdom Wednesday, a little space that I like to carve out on the internet to share some of the tools, techniques, and tips that I've used in my own personal life and as a life coach to help myself and to help some of my clients to live a healthier and happier life. And I just want to clarify that by healthier and happier, I just mean the journey of healthier and happier, not the destination. It's not like, oh, I'm healthy and I'm done. I wish, right? Oh, I'm happy. That's it. I don't have to do anything else to cultivate my happiness. Nope, that's not it. We have to be in this continuous, intentional practice of cultivating our own happiness. So, it's the beginning of the new year, and so I want to take it back. Even though we're at the beginning, I want to take it back to the beginning of when I first started doing this work. And everything that I teach, everything that I do goes back to this idea of loving yourself, right? And it's different ways that I kind of sneak in techniques and tools that we can cultivate a practice of loving ourselves. And I wanted to clarify, when I talk about self-love and self-care, I'm actually talking about one's unique journey, right? To cultivate love for themselves so they can operate from a healthier place in all of their relationships and in everything that they do. What I'm talking about, right, returning to this natural place of knowing your own deservedness and your own worthiness. I'm talking about healing and hope and happiness and growth. That's what I'm talking about when I talk about self-love. Now, there are many practices that can fall under the categories or on the spectrum of self-love and self-care. Some of them are distractions, right? Like taking a bubble bath and having a glass of wine is self-care if we go in with the mindset of meditation, I guess, right? But it's more of a distraction from the crazy of everything else, which can also be a really helpful tool. Something else on the same spectrum of self-care, like therapy, is a process. It's this work that we have to continuously unpack, again, to arrive at those new levels of healthier and happier, to cultivate healing for ourselves so that, again, we can return to that natural place of love. Because when we practice loving ourselves, when we truly understand why it's important and we kind of get a handle on it and then we know it in our knower, like I know why it's important for me to love myself, we then are giving to the people that we love and to the things that we love to do from a completely different place. We're giving without the need for reciprocity. We're giving without resentment. We're giving from a much healthier, more healed place. We're giving from our overflow rather than from depletion, right? And those ripple effects are beneficial for the people that we know and people that we don't know. It creates these huge ripple effects on the planet anytime one person finds their way back to healing and their way back to love, right? So during the month of January, I want to share some techniques every week. This is part one. I want to share some techniques every week, and we're going to start off kind of light and easy, right? And I say that, I understand for some people it might not necessarily be light and easy if your natural state of being is so far off from what I'm about to propose. But I want to start what I consider to be light and easy in terms of the list of things that I have prepared in a way that we can, again, practice and cultivate loving ourselves, right? This is really about giving you practical tools that you can start implementing immediately so that you can get back to a place of love. Now, although my work is really intentional towards women, this is really for all humans, because when we as humans get healthier, we are better for everyone that we love and everything that we do. And again, by better, I mean healthier, happier. No longer asking them to take responsibility for us. We take responsibility for us, we show up as a community and a collective, and we help each other, right? So that's essentially, I just wanted to explain what that meant, because we are tossing around these words, self-love, self-care, loving ourselves, so frequently these days that I just wanted to clarify where I'm coming from and where my mindset is in this work. So I have 3 tips that I want to share with you today. The first one, if you've listened to any of my videos, then you've heard me talk about this before. If you haven't, welcome. The first one is just paying attention. Start practicing being aware of how you're thinking, of how you're speaking, and of what you're doing. And then ask yourself this really yummy question. There's no right or wrong, right? And I don't want you to beat yourself up for the answer. I just want you to ask yourself, is this lined up with love for myself? Before I'm thinking these thoughts and then I catch myself going on this crazy train ride and it's all negative, and then I stop and I'm like, whoa, is this healthy or is this aligned with my love for myself? Ooh, no, it's not. I have to figure out a better way to navigate my thoughts, right? And again, with the words that we speak, we say the things that we say. And then I remember when I first started doing this practice and I would say something and I would catch myself after I said it. And I'm like, next time I'm going to catch myself before I say it. And then I would do it again. I'm like, oh. But rather than beat ourselves up, this is a process. So I just want you to start paying attention. Pay attention to the thoughts that you ride the trains of, like your train of thought. Pay attention to the words that you're speaking. Pay attention to what you're doing. Like, is this like practicing love for myself? Literally, is this me drinking green tea, practicing love for myself? Yes, it is. I'm going to proceed, right? And it's just a way for us to start paying attention to like, ooh, that is not me loving myself. And ooh, that's me loving myself. If it's not, don't beat yourself up. I just want you to pay attention for now. And maybe you can document it in a journal and like, ooh, I caught myself thinking this thought, saying this thing. And rather than beat yourself up or like, that's bad and I can't believe I did that, just becoming aware. Because then the more aware that we become, we can start to create shifts, right? If I know that this particular thought isn't healthy, then I know what the opposite of that thought is. I can start focusing on creating mantras that are in the opposition of the negativity, right? So just really paying attention to becoming aware. And then segueing off of that, the next thing is getting to know yourself. And I mean this in all seriousness, like getting to know you. I want you to think about yourself in terms of you getting to know another human. Because a lot of people don't know who they are. They don't know what they like or don't like. They just know how to follow the program and how to do things to people please. And so then when they can't people please and people get mad at them, which is always going to happen because they're humans, right? And they're fickle. And when people get mad at them, then they're like, oh no, I'm not valuable. And that is not true. You have just been programmed to believe that it is in the appeasing of other people that you get your validation, which is, again, not true. So just start to spend some time getting to know yourself. What do you like? What do you don't like? What's your style? What's your favorite color? If you could have dinner with anyone dead or alive, who would it be, right? Have some fun with it. I one time looked up this list of like 100 questions to ask on a first date or something along those lines, or 100 questions to ask to get to know someone new that you're dating or something like that. And when I looked at this list, I'm like, I don't know these answers for myself. So I just spent some time playing around and like really getting to know myself. And there were some times that I would catch myself and go, ooh, that is not me. That's my mother talking in the back of my head, or that's my old programming. So it's just a fun way to get to know yourself all over again and to kind of sift through what's yours and what's the programming, right? And then the last thing is to make yourself a little love list. Grab a journal, grab a piece of paper, put it in your phone, and just write a list of all the things about yourself that you like, that you love, that you've accomplished, that you've achieved, that make you feel good, right? Not for other people, but for you. Like, I love my freckles. It's always going to be on my list, right? I love my hair. It's always going to be on my list. So things like that. Things about your body, your personality, your characteristics, things about yourself that you like and love. And when we start to pay attention and then we start to catch ourselves in these little like, ooh, I have to get better at what I'm saying, or I have to pay attention to what I'm doing. And is this going to contribute to love? No, maybe not. And then it helps us create kind of like this plan of self-care when we pay attention, right? And then the other part of that is getting to know ourselves. That's just a fun way to really reconnect with you, because you're an incredible, amazing person and you forget all the time because you're looking for other people to tell you that you're incredible and amazing. Take some time to get to know yourself. Ask yourself those really fun questions, right? Look some up on the internet. I don't know. Maybe just think about things that you asked your partner on the first date. or if you don't have a partner, this will be good practice, because the better you get to know yourself and like yourself, the less likely you are to change yourself for other people, and that's really attractive, right? And then the last thing is creating that little list of things about yourself that you like, love, and appreciate, because that's just a nice way to start reminding yourself how incredible you are. And then if you join me next week, I'm going to give you some more tips and techniques that we can use in order to continue to cultivate this practice of self-love, so that we can really get to a place where we're honoring, loving, and respecting ourselves with our thoughts, words, and actions, which has positive effects on all of our relationships and in all of the stuff that we do, right? All right, so that's all I have for you. Put it in the comments. Let me know which one of these resonates with you, and if you know which one you think you're going to start with. So that's all I have for you. I hope you like this. If you don't, that's okay too. I'm not offended. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Share it if you know someone who can benefit from it. And subscribe to my channel. That's all I got. I will see you next week. Peace.